What's up, LA Live Gang? This is your boy AC, and I'm back with another edition of LA Sports Live. You guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. Let's get straight to it. What's going on in the chat? Sugar Ray Robinson Jr. They call him Bron LaDirty. Yeah, there's always going to be nonstop, 24/7 hate for LeBron James, man. So that's just the way it is. Um, but like I was saying, you guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. There's growing reports that Lakers head coach Frank Vogel is on the hot seat. I repeat, there's um, growing concern and a lot of talk amongst NBA coaches, front office staff, that Lakers coach Frank Vogel is on the hot seat now. Frank Vogel he's kind of had a tumultuous reign as Lakers head coach. Of course, we know his very first season, the 2019-2020 season, ultimately ended up in the championship for Frank Vogel. And then, we know how the season ended up last season, and we know what's going on with the team this season. But the bottom line is he did coach a championship team, but you know how things are, how things are sometimes is about what have you done for me lately? And the team currently sits at 500, man. The team currently sits at 500, 10-10. You have three Hall of Fame players on your squad, man. And I don't know. It's just they're saying that the Laker management is starting, just starting to be growing and more growing concern about Vogel. And I think the main thing is, um, to his defense, the Lakers have had a lot of injuries, but I think the feeling is, what? Still, if you have a team where you're starting Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis the majority of the games, even if you don't have LeBron, even if you don't have players like Kendrick Nunn or Trevor Ariza, you know, I guess the feeling is the team should have enjoyed a little bit more success than just sitting at 500. Drink some water here. And I think was really kind of exasperated that point is this team has some pretty bad pretty bad losses, including two bad losses to the Oklahoma City Thunder this season. Uh, the recent loss versus the New York Knicks, a team that doesn't really score a lot of points, a team that doesn't really shot a lot of 3 pointers, and they pretty much had their way with the LA Lakers. Um, so I guess there's just concern about what's the direction of the team, and a lot of times what you see with the Lakers is a team that keep having the same issues night in and night out, game in and game out. Bad third quarters, getting off to a slow start. Um, a lot of people just believe that that's indicative of a team that's just not really prepared well. I don't know if I'll 100% agree with that, but that's the feeling that's the feeling that's out there, man. And my opinion is a situation like this. I don't really think it would be fair to fire Vogel, although I think it could happen very easily. I think it happened very easily, man. If he's not meeting expectations of management, the Lakers they will pull a quick hook on a coach. They've done it in the past, and I don't think Vogel is exempt. And with the fact that him, not really getting a long contract extension, in essence, he is a lame duck coach right now. Um, I don't know, man. It could go either way. If the team continues to struggle, he might get the axe. If they turn it around, now that they do have all three stars back healthy and playing, he may get a pass. Even in his first two seasons, even in the first championship season, Vogel was, experimenting with a lot of different lineups, and there was a lot of question about his rotations, and still questions about his rotations to this day. So I don't know, man. At the very beginning of the season, I didn't really think it was possible for him to get fired. I didn't really think it would make much sense for him to get fired, and still really don't feel that way. But now I'm starting to think it's more of a possibility that he may get fired. Um, but the flip side of that is, if the Lakers were to fire him, who would they put in his place? Who would they replace him with? It seems like the logical choice and what everybody believes is going to happen, what they believe was going to happen over the last two seasons, is his lead assistant Jason Kidd. The talk, even before their first season together, man. The talk around town was, hey, as soon as Vogel has a 5 game losing streak, Jason Kidd's gonna take over. Well, the 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 feeling is the same now with lead assistant David Fisdale. What's up, Samurai Beast War? You said you want Phil Jackson. Um, nah, I don't think that's gonna happen, man. I think that ship is sailed with Genie. Um, I would welcome it, but I don't think Phil would have the kind of patience with some of these players right now. And plus, Phil doesn't really get along with LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Just think back a few years ago when Phil was in New York, and he made some comments about LeBron James and his management team. And you remember when he called, you know, what did he do? He called LeBron James and his crew, a gang or a posse or something like that. And LeBron didn't really take too kindly to that. So I don't think I don't think that's gonna happen. Now, Jeannie may bring that to him, say, LeBron, what do you think? But I don't think LeBron's gonna be cool with that. He's not at peace with Phil Jackson, so I don't think that's gonna happen. So anyhow, so the logical choice for a replacement, um, well, I mean, but Phil was there. Phil was there when it happened too, man. I don't know if it was Dan Gilbert, but Phil was there. And I remember Phil, I remember some of those comments being directed, was coming from Phil Jackson. So I don't think yeah, I see what you're saying, but I just don't think so, man. I just don't think so. And plus, Phil would only do it under certain conditions, and Phil would want a lot of money. You guys forget that Phil was making $10 million a year, bro. When he left, Phil was making $10 million, man. So I don't think the Lakers were gonna, I just don't think they want to do that, man. They believe it or not, the Lakers are penny pinchers, bro. Believe it or not, the Lakers are penny pinchers. They're not rich billionaire owners like some of these other teams, man. So I just don't think they're willing to make that kind of commitment. Now, hell, when she's boning the dude, yeah, she's not gonna trip off paying him $10 million. But she's moved on for him. She's got a new boyfriend. It would be a hard sell on LeBron to bring in Phil, so I just don't think it's gonna happen. Anyway, so let me get to where I was going. Like, so the obvious choice, the obvious replacement would be David Fisdale. He has past history with LeBron James going back to Miami, and a lot of people feel that he will be a much better choice, and that he would have an advantage over Vogel because he is noted as being a much better offensive coach. Having better offensive schemes, and then plus with his experience with LeBron in Miami, that would be a easier transition. In one way that kind of makes sense because Vogel is a defensive coach, but right now he just doesn't have the horses to his defense. He just doesn't even have the horses to run and to play the kind of defense or whatever, um, to run his schemes. And so that's why the Lakers defense looks like trash because he just doesn't have his horses. His defensive players, his defensive stalwarts, They're Alex Caruso, he's on the Bulls, and KCP and Kyle Kuzma, they're on the Wizards. So they're on the other teams. They can't help the Lakers anymore. So anyhow, back to Fizdale. So a lot of people would love to see Vogel gone and love it and see Fizdale in there. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to bring anybody in. It would to me. It wouldn't make any sense to bring anybody in off the street other than Phil Jackson. But since that ain't gonna happen, the only move that I think they would ever make would be to promote David Fizdale. Now, David Fizdale, I mean, you people are quick to holler and ask to bring in David Fizdale, but I'm like, is David Fizdale really a great coach? I mean, is he really that much better than Frank Vogel? I mean, because look, if you go back and look at Fizdale's numbers, um, a former coach, former assistant, been in the league a number of years. Um, with the Warriors, with the Hawks, and then from '08 to 16, he was with LeBron in Miami, and then those were as assistant. So when he was able, he logical after many years being assistant, he made the jump to being a head coach. His first gig with the Memphis Grizzlies, man, and it wasn't too much to talk about. Really wasn't much to talk about. His first year with the Memphis Grizzlies, he 2017 season, man, he coached all 82 games. He made it through the season, and he had a record of 43 and 39. They they finished third in the Southwest. Um, they made it to the playoffs. Went 6 games. They made it to the playoffs, and that was it. Um, Lionel Hollins is out of basketball right now. No longer with the Lakers, and out of basketball right now. Um, okay. So his first year with Memphis as a head coach, a few games over 500, he made it to the first round playoffs, and he got beat. So the next year they come back, 2017, 2018 with the Memphis Grizzlies. I guess they looked to build upon, that playoff appearance. They went 6 games in that first round playoff appearance of previous year, and then I guess they were looking to build upon that. But he was fired 19 games into the season, with a record of 7-12. He was fired. Okay. Next year, 2018, 2019, he was hired by the New York Knicks. He coached the whole season, and he had a record of 17-65. Finished fifth in the Atlantic, did not make the playoffs. And a very similar pattern as to what happened in Memphis. He came back, well, at least Memphis, his first year he made the playoffs. He didn't make it. He had a dismal record, 17-65 with the Knicks his first year. Second year, almost at the same point in the season, after 22 games in the 2019-2020 season, he had a record of 4-18. He was summarily dismissed by the New York Knicks. So as it stands right now, as a head coach, David Fizdale has a record of 71 wins and 134 losses, a 346 winning percentage. That's who you want as the coach? That's who you guys want to fire Vogel for and to be the coach? There's no guarantees it's going to be much better. If you fire Vogel and bring in Fizdale, you're fighting, hollering to bring in a guy with a career 346 winning percentage. I don't think that's a good idea, man. I don't think that's a good idea. I think Vogel deserves the benefit of the doubt to be given to at least the first or second week in January. And see where this team is headed. This team, they had a couple of setbacks, but the team has shown improvement. This Laker team has shown improvement, and I just think it would just be kind of too. Look, we can nitpick over the stuff that some of the stuff that Vogel is doing. I mean, Mark Jackson, bro. Mark Jackson is blackballed, bro. You know that. Everybody knows Mark Jackson is blackballed. He will never coach. He'll never be a head coach in the NBA again. Mark Jackson, that's just not gonna happen, man. You know what to deal with that. Mark Jackson is blackballed because of stuff what happened with him and Golden State Warriors with the Golden State Warriors. Um, Mark Jackson made some comments about Mark Jackson made some comments about what we call the alphabet community, and some people in the NBA, upper management and ownership, they're in the alphabet community and they're pretty prominent. So it's not going to happen. Mark Jackson, that just ain't going to happen. So, and like I said before, Lionel Hollins is out of basketball, no longer with the Lakers, and he's out of basketball. They fired Lionel Hollins. And another assistant coach, I can't remember, but the Lakers moved on a couple. The Lakers made some moves on off season. Man, they fired a couple of assistant coaches. They fired all the most. They fired the athletic trainers, and they brought in a couple of new coaches, a new athletic trainer, and a new coach, a couple of new coaches. So nah, I don't think that's gonna happen, man. So like I said, the logical choice, David Fizdale. Uh, but the point I'm trying to make is he ain't much better. So I think the Lakers would be better off to stick with what they have, stick with what they got going now, and give Vogel to the first or second week in January. And if this team doesn't turn around, I guess you can't get no worse than what will be going on at that time. And then you just go ahead and bring in Fizdale, and then see if he can create a spark or whatever, and then we'll see what happens from there. But firing Vogel now, man, I just don't I just don't see the sense in it because you're not really guaranteed, you know, a better result. Uh, I don't know. I don't know about Jeff Van Gundy. He makes a lot of money doing TV, bro. So he's not gonna just come in and take over the Lakers, for peanuts. So it would take a lot for Jeff Van Gundy. Although Van Gundy did interview for some jobs this past offseason, but I don't think he's just gonna walk away from the money that he's making on TV. Um, because you know a lot of people think the Lakers' job is a very prominent and prestigious job, but at the same time, it still comes with a lot of pressure. And some people ain't built for that pressure to be the coach of the LA Lakers, especially when you have a player like LeBron James on the team. Not that LeBron's an asshole or anything, man, but it's just a big personality, bro. There's a lot that goes along with that. And not everybody can handle it. So anyway, just want to drop that little video for you guys, man. Look, Vogel's on the hot seat. He's gonna stay on the hot seat until the team turns around. My prediction is that this team is going to start to turn around within the next couple weeks, and they should be full steam ahead by Christmas. That's my prediction, and I'm gonna stick to it. This team should be moving full steam ahead by Christmas, and damn near putting the shit in cruise control. Not cruise control, but it should be rolling by Christmas, and really rolling. We should be coasting along by the second week in January. That's my prediction. If my prediction doesn't come through, then you damn straight that the team continues to struggle through the new year. You damn skimpy Vogel's gonna get fired, and then more than likely there'll be trades. I'm fairly certain of that. This team, this team is built to win right now, and I don't think the Lakers will sit around a whole season on their hands and not make moves uh, if the team is not enjoying any success by early next year. So anyhow, those are my thoughts. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. This is your boy AC. Thanks to Samurai Beast Warrior for dropping by, man. I appreciate it, brother. I really do appreciate the support. Look, we're real close, man. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out, man. We need 30. We need 35 more subs, man. We can hit the 1,000. Then we can start monetizing the channel, man. Then I can start doing giveaways and all that kind of stuff. So you guys, man, hey, you got other YouTube accounts? Subscribe to the channel. Tell your mama, your daddy, your granny, anybody subscribe to the channel, man. I would really appreciate it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna keep bringing the content, bringing the Laker content. I'm working on some other stuff, but I need to get the money up. I need to get the likes up, and I need to get to the subscription. So, you guys subscribe to the channel. It really help. It'll really help the channel. I really appreciate it. And look, I'll wrap with y'all later.